AI the third. And yes, the third one, seriously. Like I said before, this one's going to be much longer, might be even 30 minutes even. But there's one thing I want to address before starting, and that's this. Just a random thing I came up with before filming. It's contorting the jet from the Angel Ultra Combo Mech into this weird Sentai like Henkei robot thing. You know what? You know, when getting into Sentai, I never expected to become like Akiba Red, you know, when it comes to Sentai references. But I am, and that's scary because I actually watched both series of Akiba Ranger and actually liked it. I'm actually watching. I'm actually halfway through watching Ghost Sager. I think I'm on episode 43 or something. 40. I think I'm on 42. Yeah, I'm on 42 because it's the one where the imitation robot comes out. I'm not gonna say what happens exactly, you know, because spoilers. And this time it isn't a cover reason, you know. I'm not gonna say what happens, you know, just in case spoilers, because I know how this community doesn't like to be spoiled on these episodes. Speaking of, Don Brothers trying to get this to stand, but it's not gonna stand. Come on, stand. Speaking of, the Don Brothers final is on tomorrow. The UK, the English sub is on tomorrow for the Don Brothers final. So that's exciting. I'm trying to get this to work somehow. It's not working. There we go. So the Don Brothers final. There we go. I've just made it look even more horrifying. The Don Brothers final is, of course, on tomorrow. The English subs, you know, Monday, because Tukifun does it on Tukifun's. The sub I watched. The first of the two sub-channel things that I watch on always does new sub episodes for Kamen Rider and Sentai on the Monday, which is the Monday after the days that officially premiered, and which is the day the episode has premiered in Japan. In this case, the Don Brothers final premiered earlier. I think it's at 7 o'clock. Was it 9:30? I'm not sure. I think it's either 7 o'clock. It's either 7 a.m. or 9:30 a.m. I prefer 9:30 a.m. because, to be honest, to get kids to come up at 7 a.m. and watch the show is kind of like, it's a weekend. You want to let them sleep in. You don't want to drag them out of bed at like the same time you get them out for school. So a part of me thinks that doesn't feel right. Oh, and this has just come off. Brilliant start, everyone. Can I put it on correctly? Yes, he can. He wasn't lying that time. Also, if you attach it to the bag just like this, it starts to resemble something like Pet Rhino from Kurija. And speaking of Kurija, I'm actually going to watch Kurija after I've watched Ghost Sager. Hang on. It's not. There we go. I was going to say it's not lining up, but it is. Great. I've already watched Tokuja all the way through. Because I plan to watch. You know, that was actually in 2021. Because I watched Go Onja and then Tokuja. Because I watched Go Onja first. Because I wanted to watch Go Onja and the funny talking vehicles. Halfway through watching. I think I was watching. I can't remember now, but I was halfway through watching a series and I thought, hang on, I wanted to see Go Onja, and then watch Go Onja and then watch Tokuja. I think I was halfway through watching Go Busters actually, because I think I was watching Go Busters and then Tokuja because I had this planned series out in my head. And I'm actually going to rewatch some parts of Tokuja just for Wagon, because thinking about it. It feels like Wagon just feels like one of the things that's holding Hasbro off from adapting that series. Like, you can't just cut a support character off right there and then you have to adapt it somehow. But you cannot. But in my books, you cannot adapt. You've got to use the Sentai footage. You've got to use the Sentai. You know, you've got to use your Sentai adaptation source knowledge well. Otherwise, what's the point of adapting it? I mean, come on, like, for example, the Commander from Go Busters got adapted into their commander from Beast Morpher, so they have to have some kind of like connection. So, for example, if they were to adapt Wagon, they'd need to use Wagon's costume, which, okay. They might have failed at that step straight away because they know how it looks. At least it's not like Rouge's costume where it just emphasises parts of the body. But hey, this is America we're talking about. They have more strict age guidelines and stuff. For example, I learned earlier, thanks to Phantom Strider on his latest Lego sets video, I learned that Stranger Things, even though it's rated like a 15 in the UK, haven't checked this for lies yet, but I think it is. Even though Stranger Things is rated 15 here, probably rated 15 in Australia as well, it's actually rated a 12 in Japan. Which means this bloke. Well, which means I was gonna make a joke about saying that this bloke, since Japanese kids can handle it all, but to be honest, I've got no idea why they have so relaxed age restrictions. Like, there's stuff in Sentai and Kamen Rider that they wouldn't even dream of allowing in Power Rangers or Masked Rider, you know, back in the 90s when Masked Rider was a thing. Anyway, enough this Akiba Red type fan rubbish talk thing. I've got this script is a lot bigger and longer, so don't be surprised if I have to split it up. But if I do have to split it up, that's no big deal. Anyway, the first one, also in case you're wondering why this is all black, I think I tried to. Actually, I can't remember. I think it was a copy and paste deal. I cannot remember what happened, but I think it was a copy and paste deal. Anyway, first up is Bioman, Chodenshi Bioman. It is a very close battle for both sides, but I must go with Chodenshi Bioman. I believe the sheer power of the Chodenshis will be enough to overwhelm the Dynaman. And not only that, but the Chodenshis were literally created to be superhuman. The superhuman part, okay, basically the superhuman part is just made up. Dynaman is the team before Bioman, so it thinks whatever team comes before it is going to battle with the team we've just put in. So, understandable. But the fact it calls them the Chodenshis, that's the best joke ever. Also, it's at this point in time when I start doing edit notes for sorts I have while writing the script, and the first one will come up fairly soon. Right, next up is Changeman. This is going to be tough, but I'm going to have to go with the Changemans. They have magical talismans that I hope I'm saying that correctly, that allow them to summon lightning, storms, earthquakes, fire, and water. They can also use these elements with martial arts and other powerful techniques. Right, so Changemans. Do I have to say anything else? Then Flashman. I'm going to give it to Choshinsei Bioman, Choshinsei Flashman. They literally have weapons that were created by the gods and are able to shoot bolts of lighting. It says lighting and not lightning. Misspelled it, but I'll let it off. I think their ability to shoot lightning alone is enough to destroy the other team. And these are literal lightning bolts. Nothing else to say. Maskman for sure. They have literal god masks that grant them the power to control lightning, water, fire, stone, air, steel, and plant. These are simply elemental gods. Oh, I said that like Dick from Dick and Dumb in the Bungalow. Or Splat, as you probably would have realised by now. And they can use spells to heal summon animals and plants, or even grow to become giants. Right, there's a bunch of comments I want to make on this one. Firstly, masks. Where in the actual Mastermind all their use of masks? There is none. In fact, why don't you go back to the Ninjago bit, Sons of Godmother, and that's got masks in. Ooh, look at you, Ninjago, look, you big Japanese. Great. So basically, lightning, water, fire, stone, air, steel, and plant. Right, so is this Maskman or flipping Lego Bionicle? Literally, this is kind of this is 100% along the lines of what they do in Lego Bionicle. You know, for the elemental tar masks of power. Hang on, let's just check here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 7. Okay, that's not within, like, I think it's not within Bug Barnacle, but it's kind of within Sentai standards. So, and also, the power to become giant. What is this? Sentai or Blinking Ultraman? Well, it's kind of, it should be that one episode of Shuriken Sentai Ninja. I think it's the Christmas episode. I can't remember, where Aka Ninja grows to become giant to battle the frosted ice woman blokes, and the yokai that becomes a giant when Aka Ninja grows using her giant machine. I forget. Liveman. Sorry, I'm giving this battle to Liveman. Yes, I'm saying like that for the rest of the scene. They have literal god power granted by the god of Earth. And they even have literal armor granted by the god of sun, moon, and stars themselves. Not only that, but they have the elemental powers of fire, water, plant, stone, sun/moon, and wind. Now, normally I'd say, hang on, isn't this what? I thought, hang on, isn't this what they do in real life? But no, I was just getting confused as the Ultra. So anyway, moving on. Turbo Ranger. I'm gonna have to go with Corsac Sentai Turbo Ranger. Yes, I put the full 3-word Sentai team into the box, the AI. Corsac Sentai Turbo Ranger. They literally have vehicles built specifically to battle. The Sun Tank can be an actual weapon. Not only that, but they can summon their Zords to form a massive super robot. Right, bunch of questions here. Firstly, what is a Thunder Tank? That literally sounds like a thing from Power Rangers there. Turbo, as this later statement will prove, the first edit note, the first of many. Anyway, someone there's also from a massive super robot. Excuse me, but they can all do that. Right, so the first edit note of the series. Edit note, possible confusion with Power Rangers Turbo. Go Kaija, indeed! Right, so there's two things here. I think the Thunder Tank brought this comment up, because Thunder Tank, like I said, is a thing they stick in Power Rangers Turbo, because it's the 90s, everything has to be cool and trendy and all that, and all that. I put Go Kaija, indeed, because there's this one episode with, where Red, it's the Car Ranger tribute episode, the one where the Car Rangers come up and Red Racer appears, and they changed it in Power Rangers to feature Super Mega Green instead because they couldn't have TJ appear. Ugh! And the joke in Go Kaija is that when the Go Kaijas want to do a Gokai change to the Car Rangers, they get confused and accidentally change to the Turbo Rangers instead, because the joke being Car Rangers American adaptation is Power Rangers Turbo, so they got mixed up with Turbo and Turbo Rangers. So okay, next up is Fiveman. Devil HQ Sentai Fiveman. These Rangers can literally control the power of the Earth. Not only that you can also create energy to create weapons and shields. But their biggest advantage is control of the Earth. If they wanted to, they could simply trap the enemy team underground. Right, so it clearly knows what Shikyu means, because, Shiki means Earth, I think. But that's the only clever thing I can say about this team. Next up is Jetman. I'm gonna have to go with Chojing Sentai Jetman here. They have the ability to become literally invisible. That alone would provide an advantage in battle, and the ability to control all of the air. That is incredible! Not only that, but they can summon giant robots made of air. Oh god. This is becoming like an Akiba fest, isn't it? Right, first. Invisible. To make an actual Sentai, team which had invisibility powers. They haven't done that yet. I suspect a theory here. But also, to control all of the air. Jetman, okay. But also, giant robots made of air. Yes, kids, come buy our new merchandise. It's an air-powered giant metal block. That sounds like a that sounds like that sounds like a Sentai in joke they would do with a Kiba Ranger. Quickly, someone followed that to Toei so they can do a Kiba Ranger Series 3 with robots and furries. Furries. But I think the most likely thing to happen, if they ever do like Kiba Ranger Series 3 or did bring a Kiba Ranger back for a film, they might do that. I hope they do. Of course, what they could do is they could stick a Kiba Red in like if they could just hire like a single like room, right? Or we use the set from Tokujo. You know where this is going. They could stick Akiba Red and Wagon in the same room and just do an entire thing just with that, just like for one bit of the film, and comedy sorted. Oh God. I mean, come on, it's better than like that Gokai X Tsukai film where the evil twin just likes getting all of his robot parts broken, like some kind of mentalist. Great. But seriously, Akiba Red, Rat Wagon, same room. You know where this is going. Someone forward that idea to Toei. They need to, although I'm actually 100% aware. They must have been aware because Wagon is just so specific, like a robot. That's a like. Instead of having another human like the conductor, they chose. They must have known what they were doing because don't forget, Akiba Ranger was in. I think it was in 2012, and I think Tokujo came out in 2014. So that's only like a 1 year gap in between. So they must have known what they were doing. Come on, Toei, you know you want to do it. They must have known what they were doing to make it that specific. They must have known. God. Right, next up on the list of Akiba, I'm calling it that. This is basically just a thing where I can keep on doing references, and I constantly sound like Akiba Red, except I'm not living in a TV show. I hope. Great. Although I technically am, because I'm filming myself with this, so technically if I wanted to I could do a full floor break right now and say, oh, hello guys, I'm stuck inside of a YouTube video. No, enough of this. Anyway, next up is Z-Ranger. Z-Ranger takes the win here. They literally have the power of dinosaurs and can control nature itself. Not only can they control various aspects of nature, but they can also control the elements of earth, wind, fire, and water. And if the ability to summon ancient animals or to control nature alone wasn't enough, they also have the ability to turn into an entire new form of dragon. Right, so there's a couple of, statements I can say here. Couple of things I can say here, rather. First of all, dinosaurs. It must know what Z-Ranger is, or it must know what Mighty Morphin Power. It must know that they're the same thing, at least. Or it must know what Z-Ranger is, because dinosaurs is oddly on point for an AI at this stage. But also, the dragon comment at the end, isn't that what, like, dragon beast, isn't that what zoo basically just means? So, oddly on point there. And of course, next up is Dairanger. I'm giving it to Gorsei Sentai Dairanger for 2 reasons. Also, I'm just going to cut in for a bit here. A few years ago, quite a few years ago now, I used to think it was pronounced Dairanger, and that kind of just makes me feel like a go-go. Anyway, so I'm giving it to Gorsei Sentai Dairanger for 2 reasons. One, they literally have a literal super robot, a gigantic metal thing that can crush any enemy that can crush the enemy team. It looks like a literal building. And 2, they are masters of martial arts. Even without their suits, they are exceptionally skilled in actual hand-to-hand combat. Right, so not only did it just describe what Power Ranger Super Mega Force decided to make out of Dairanger, But also we have another mecha joke we can make. It looks like a literal build. Yes, kids, not only do we have our massive air robot, but we also now have a robot that looks like a skyscraper. Oh my god. It actually does say that here. It looks like an actual building. It actually does say that here. Oh great. And next up, of course, is Kakaranger. I'm going to go with Ninja Sentai Kakaranger here. First of all, the leader can actually turn into a bat. Okay. This provides an almost unbeatable amount of mobility in the battle. They have the ability to summon ninja power to enhance their weapons, their strength, and their speed. They can control all wind elements. This includes hurricanes and thunderstorms. Right. I think it's getting confused with Hurricaneger. I wouldn't be surprised if it is, because don't forget they're both Ninja themed series. But also, their leader can actually turn into a bat. I haven't seen Kakaranger, but I think I've seen enough stuff on Reddit to know that Ninja White is the leader of the Kakarangers and not Ninja Red, as you might think. Which might have been a homage to Jackass, thinking about it now. Maybe. So not only is Ninja White the leader of the team, but I'm just gonna go on a complete rant here and say Rouge is the same colour as Ninja White, and I think that's too much of a coincidence not to not ignore. So thanks for that. You made me every single Japanese media in existence. Next up is Oranger. I'm going to go with Trix and Oranger for these two reasons. One, they have the ability to use special suits that make them almost invincible. And two, they literally have the power of animals. They can shoot lasers out of their suits. I think animal power alone is enough to win a battle. I mean, can you imagine what it would feel like to be burnt by a laser beam from the mouth of a T-Rex? I'm now imagining whether O Blue, if I'm now about imagining like an alternate version of Oranger where O Blue is a dinosaur. Great. Right, so the edit note here is that there's no dinos in Oranger. Instead, you get squished by a load of giant shapes. That's exactly what O-Blocker is. Next up is Core Ranger. No, I'm going to go with Core Ranger. First of all, their vehicle turns into an actual weapon. It can actually shoot out of the front. Secondly, they can summon the power of actual lightning and storms. And this isn't just a normal storm. Oh no! This is a storm that can turn a man into steel. I think this storm alone is enough to win the battle. I think a man of steel is a thing here. It could be getting confused of that. And also, we haven't really had a vehicle that can turn it. We haven't really had a vehicle that turns into a weapon yet. Actually, no, that's a lie. We've had the finishing one. I think it's one of the finishing cannons from Turbo Ranger, actually. Excuse me. Oh, good grief. No, what is up with? No, it doesn't matter. Next up is Mega Ranger. I'm going to go with the Mega Rangers. They have an incredible vehicle that can be used to drive over literally anything. Not only will the Megazord crush and squash anyone, but their literal Zords are basically just giant robots with incredible technology. Even without the giant robots, they have special suits that enhance their physical strength and their resistance. They are essentially armoured. Now, I have to agree with this AI here, which is a bit weird, because, well, for a start, don't the Mega Suits actually enhance the Mega Rangers with additional abilities? And isn't the Mega Tank some kind of massive vehicle on wheels? So I'm having to agree with the AI here, which is a bit weird. Thanks, Dom. Then we've got Gingaman. I think Gingaman takes the win here. Not only is he a master of nature, which I think we've established is a pretty important thing to be a master of, but he can also use the magical power of an entire forest. Not only that, but he is literally armoured by magic, making him extremely durable. And that isn't even the best thing he can do. He also has the ability to summon an incredible creature known as the Golden Lion. This creature has the ability to control the power of the sun. Now, I'm not entirely sure here, but the golden lion, or Mikoshi Fini, Kasu, sorry, wash, sorry, no more of that, please. But also the entire forest bit, that's accurate because Gigaman is nature themed, so well done, Mr. AI bot. And then we've got Go-Go 5. Definitely QQ Sentai Go-Go 5. They are just so much more skilled than a normal human. Not only that, but they can transform into incredible warriors. Okay, not only can they move at incredible speeds, but their powers make them almost invincible. They also have the ability to go invisible. How can the Go-Goers possibly lose with that arsenal? I did very well not to laugh at the sort of a Sentai called Go-Goers. Go-Goers! Oh my god. And the edit note here just says Go-Goers. Sounds like a generic game show term. Imagine, right, if all the contestants in Trapped weren't called Unfortunates, but instead if they were called Go-Goers. Go-Goers, your time is up. It actually does say that. It's Go-Go. Oh my god. Alright, next up is Time Ranger. Time. Trouble, Incredible, Mr. Eradicator. I'm afraid to say that I'm going to give it to the Time Rangers. They can literally control the concept of time itself. That is an unbeatable ability. Not only that, but their suits have incredible power and durability. They literally can take a tank around to the chest and survive. Okay, Mr. Mate, if they were invincible, then I'm not entirely sure now. I was gonna bring up a comment about a cracked Time Ranger helmet during a bit in Time Ranger, but I'm not sure now if there was an actual cracked helmet bit in Time Ranger. I think there was. I'm not sure. I can't remember now. Not only that, concept of time itself. That's not. They can't. I don't think they can do that. I don't know. I think they're just called Time Ranger because they've got a load of stuff on them. But I think one of the monsters, one of the robot blokes in Gosasia can do that. So great. Then we've got Gao Ranger. Gao Ranger. He said in the most modern voice he can possibly muster. Right, Gao Ranger. Well, Gao Ranger wins for the sheer fact that he has the power of a literal god within him. Okay, he literally has the power of earth, wind, fire, sun, moon and water. Not only that, but he can use the spirit power of all animals and plants. That alone should be enough to destroy anyone. Not to mention the fact he can also harness the power of the spirits of Earth, stars and the galaxy. With this many exclamation marks, if you can see that. Great, I've always wanted that. This particular bit might be 2 parts. I think I'll just do... I'll get to the end of this page and then stop. Then Hurricaneger with 2 H's. Easily. They literally have the power of all storms. All storms. So, not only are they immune to wind, because they themselves control the storm, too many beans. They can control all aspects of the storm, not just the wind. They have the ability to turn into a giant robot to fight with. Okay. Imagine, right, that one McDonald's Tokuja commercial. Imagine if that was the entirety of Ninpu Sentai Hurricaneger, right? Just get a load of people and just combine them. The end. Job's a good un. And Bob's your uncle. Thanks, Nigel. Nigel played in case you're wondering. I'm not just saying thanks, Nigel, to any person called Nigel. I'm just talking about... Oh god. Then we've got Abba Ranger. Abba Ranger easily wins. I mean, these are literally magical creatures with the ability to control the 4 major elements. Earth, air, water and fire. And You were detected and are also controlled by literal master of the universe. Oh god, I'm laughing at this sheer amount of exclamation points. How can literally anyone else compete? See this? This is the exclamation mark factory here. I've almost struggled to find it there, but hey, look! God. Next up is Deca Ranger. Definitely Toxel Sentai Deca Ranger. Deca Ranger. No, I had no more of that, please. Sorry. They are literally the law of Japan. Yes, it actually does say that here. So it knows where they're from, so thanks. Not only that, but they have the power of the entire Japanese police force. And then that police force can also turn into a giant robot to fight. So not only does it know where they're from, but also it's getting confused with K-Sat Sentai Pad Ranger, which is okay, I suppose. And we haven't even seen the crossover with those two teams yet. Future prediction. But also another example of just combining just random people off the street into just a giant robot. Great. And then we've got Magi Ranger. I'm going to go with my whole Sentai Magi Ranger for two reasons. One, they have the power of magical good from what? From the magic of the literal moon. That sentence doesn't make any sense. Broken English like Medivh. I'm broken English on Medivh. And two, they have the power to summon literal dragons to fight for them. I think these two abilities alone would be difficult for any other team to compete with. Right, so the dragon bit is on spot. On point. On the spot. So stand on the cold spot and stay spot on. Come on, off we go! Thanks, Wonka. And then Borkenja. I think this one would be close. I think the deciding factor is the team from Borkenja has the ability to control the elements of the entire Earth. Even the rocks under our feet can be used as a weapon for this team. The team from Hurricanea simply cannot compete with that type of power. Right, so it's just taken Hurricanea from a couple of things ago and just stuck it right behind Borkenja. Imagine if it went like Hurricanea, Borkenja. And there's a Akiba Ranger reference here, where he thinks Star Ranger doesn't exist when it does. Instead of replacing it with Akiba Ranger, it's a funny reference to Akiba Ranger wanted to be an official team. Ugh, this is becoming like the Chase now, but Sentai. Ugh. Great, thanks. And also the rocks bit as a weapon, that's actually technically what Scooper Phantom does, if that's Borkenja's special. I think it is. And the last one for this bit, Geki Ranger. Juken Sentai Geki Ranger wins. This is another close battle, but Geki Ranger has the ability to use animal power. Even if it was just animal power, their team would be very powerful, obviously. But they also have animal spirits that can transform into giant animals to fight with them. Those two abilities alone are enough to give the win to Juken Sentai Geki Ranger. So, okay, the animal spirits part is basically what Power Rangers Jungle Free calls the Lords. And brilliant. And, right, the end. You can't top that. Bye.